So, I have been researching solar a lot. Today I want to talk about different solar deployment types. I'm Vosk and I've been working on building out I call it a small solar farm. My end game is to have it be the size of about 1 megawatt, 1,000 or so panels. There's a couple ways to go about it, and we're going to break that down from the electricity to grid tie and then backfeed, and that's probably where we'll just keep it focused for today's video. So let's dig into it. Hey.
Oh, hi.
What are you doing July 21st, 23rd? I thought you'd say that. Heading down to Mining Disrupt. They're back in Miami, Florida, baby. It's the biggest Bitcoin crypto mining conference in the world. Use our link to not only buy a ticket, but to get a discount. First off, let's talk about the electricity here, right? Single phase, 3-phase. You need to figure that out, and then that's going to dictate what kind of equipment you can use, right? I can only use single phase where I'm at. That's the short of it. And I will not have 3-phase power anytime soon. So I'm working within the confines of what I have. So that's going to dictate a lot of the equipment that I do. Then you look at on-grid, off-grid. You look at a hybrid system where you're on grid, but you have batteries. It really only works out one way. I only view solar as viable if you grid tie it, or you're completely off grid and you only run sun up. I have 1-to-1 net metering, but maybe not forever unless I get my stuff in and essentially grandfathered in. So I'm gonna mad dash for that. So with that in mind, I'm grid tying on single phase electricity, which means that my system would be the most relatable and applicable to Americans, some other places, and small to medium scale setups, and a great way to scale this up or down if you wanted to produce energy for whatever reason. But we can kind of break this down into bite-sized pieces and illustrate how many miners you could run based on how you scale a system like this. So it breaks down this way. We're going to look at this as electric services. Some things you may already have, or you could get, or you could upgrade. Ideally, you've got a bigger service like 800 amp CT single phase, assuming you have to stick to single phase. That would be just 2x what we're going to talk about today, which is a 400 amp service. So a 400 amp service means we can feed 320 amps all day. That's 80% backfeed there. We can only backfeed what the service can handle, right? So I can't build a solar system that generates more than 320 amps, approximately at peak sun. But another constraint you have is going to be a transformer. How much can your transformer handle, right? Because I have a couple 400 amp services coming off the same transformers. So I have 3 400 amp services actually coming off the same transformer. I can't backfeed them all at 100%. I also realize now that I've been overdrawing my transformer, and it's held up fine, by the way. If I backfeed too much solar and I blow something up, they can bill me, I can be held liable, and it can cost a lot of money, which would quickly negate the whole purpose of this. So 320 amps, right? We look at that. We also look at my transformer. I've got a 167 kVA. Is 167,000 divided by 240 is an input of 696 amps. Transformers are built and rated to run at their nameplate. So without a shadow of a doubt, I could set up 2 400 amp services or 1 800 amp and backfeed 640 amps of solar at the peak. Now, let's keep it focused on the 400 and the 320. At the 320, I can run 4 full-size Bitcoin miners like S21 XPs, Pros, S23s, the whole next generation. Bitcoin miners, all these numbers are ran with ASIC mining rigs pulling around 3,400 watts. I'll be able to offset 4 miners like 100% there. Now, for me, the whole reason I'm doing this is I'm not doing this to sell power. They don't really have a great deal for that at this kind of size, especially when the solar systems are broken up onto different meters with my utility, and that's who I'm beholden to here in Virginia. We just take the math of one of the popular Bitcoin miners right now, S21 XP, but remember, you can replace this with anything. This is ran at 3645 watts, 3.645 kilowatts continuously. That's 2624 kilowatt hours per month, which is 31,500 kilowatt hours per miner per year. If we look at, this math is a little off, but essentially 176 panels, 590 watt, 104,000 watts, 104 kilowatt solar system there. So estimated 130 to 40,000 kilowatt hours per year. If we took bifacial panels and white gravel, 145 to 160,000 kilowatt hours per year. This would result in 4.1 miners fully powered. With white gravel and bifacial, we're looking at maybe 4.8, assuming that all works out. I could also underclock these a little bit. The bottom line is pretty much looking at a definite 4 miner offset. And if I'm not quite hitting that mark, I can underclock these and just have them use less power, or use 3 of these and another miner that uses less power. The math shakes out a couple different ways, but let's just call it 43, 44, 590 watts solar panels per full-size Bitcoin miner. We keep having to rerun these numbers because every year the miners are using more and more electricity, but they've kind of hit a wall. They can only do so much more, I think, sort of. The point here being, right, if you wanted to scale this out for yourself, you could do 40, 50 panels, offset 1 miner all day, and have some more juice to run some fans around it, or, you know, say like a mining shed or something like that. With this system, I could build a little mini mining shed. I could put 4 Bitcoin miners in it, and I could use the power to run the miners. A couple supplemental fans in there, 100% offset. At 9 cents per kilowatt hour, and we take the high end of this 150,000 kilowatt hour generation, this solar system earns me $13,500 per year. Also in Virginia, you generate SRECs. I don't know if anybody else says it like that, but that's how I say it in my head. SREC, solar renewable energy credits. I'd be generating 130 to 150 SRECs annually with this system, which is crazy. But these SRECs add a lot of additional income, and they've been doing terrible over the last couple of years, like trending down. They used to sell for like 3 times the price, but you know, basically they sell for like $20 plus all day right now. I mean, there's a market for them. You know, some of the places that allow you to sell them easily are like recmint.com and some other things like that. But you know, if let's take the middle, we take 125 times 20, right? That's an additional $2,500 per year of generation on this. So that would mean that this solar system would generate me like $16,000 of value per year. The Bitcoin mining earnings can be whatever they are. The bottom line is I'm already mining and I'm going to spend that. I even own this hardware already. So I'm like very deep into this, but let's just say that, you know, you weren't, and the miners are making $12 a piece on average long term, times 4 times 365. You know, so this would be a system that saved me 13.5 grand a year in electricity bills. I mined 17,500 in Bitcoin. I hold it, it doubles, and I'm super happy, hopefully, right? Something like that. And then you take this number and you put 2,500 of SRECs on top. That's $20,000. This is a system that generates $20,000 annually for me. Interesting. I need to crunch all the final numbers. Keep having to add things, buy things, all that. But let's just say it cost me $100,000. It should cost me less than $100,000 per system to deploy, especially because I have some higher costs on this one in particular before I started getting better volume pricing. Worst case scenario, I should be breaking even in 5 years, and then I'll produce energy to run gear forever. I don't know. Seems like a no-brainer to me. Biggest issue is just the upfront capital, whether you can swing it, financing, business partner, or something like that. All things to explore. Ultimately though, I'm personally limited here by the backfeed. I have 2 transformers, and I've gone over the services before, but I have a 400 amp gray immersion shed, 400 amp mini pod, 400 amp fuel building HQ, 400 amp green shed, and a 600 amp CT service. However, I just got approved to upgrade the mini pod from a 400 to an 800, and it gets a dedicated transformer. So that increases the panels that I can deploy out here by about 170, or essentially a whole nother one of these systems that I just talked about here today. So if you look at this diagram, I'm not going to get any more services. They basically won't, and I don't really want to. I made a big mistake by not getting bigger services. It's created a lot of issues, and it's cost me a ton of money, thousands and thousands of dollars of essentially in waste. Doing redundant things and wire and different pieces of equipment. Just, it's very bad, 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 bad. Get one big service or two big services, not 5 medium services. So this equation, we'll call it HQ and the gray shed on a transformer. Then we have the green shed and the 600 CT on a transformer. And the pod now gets its own transformer and goes from 400 to 800 amps. What's interesting now, if I got one more transformer, I could double 2 services. And especially interesting for the 400 amperage services. We look at HQ and the gray immersion shed. They're both 400s. They're both on the original transformer. So with one more transformer, and assuming the wire upgrades, the distribution feeds to both of these services, we could go from 400 twice, which is 800, to 800 twice, which is 1600, which takes us from 340 panels to 680 panels. Every time we go up by, say, 170-ish panels, we get all of an additional 4 100% mining rig offset. As it stands with our current upgrade, the pod service will now offset 8 miners. A pretty easy rule of thumb we could illustrate here is for every 100 amps on your service and associated solar, obviously 80% rule, not 1-to-1, you're offsetting 1 full-size miner and a little bit of change, at least here in Virginia. And let's say we did the same system on the 600 amp service due to transformer limitations, right? As it stands, my systems could offset 24 full-size mining rigs and some change to run some fans, other things like that. If I was able to get one more transformer, I could run another 8 miners, which would let me run over 30 miners with 100% offset. To put it into perspective, right now on the VoskCoin mining farm, still solar mining, still haven't hit a block, still getting huge electricity bills. So that's a little bit more information about this, the backfeed, and my situation in particular. I'm Vosk, you're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I hope you enjoy this content. I hope you subscribe. We're doing all kinds of crazy builds this year, getting after it, and just trying to set the VoskCoin mining farm up for success long-term, making this a true, viable, profitable operation with long-term longevity. Okay, that was kind of redundant. We'll see how long this stuff lasts. I'm staying here forever. Have a nice day. So, 10 seconds of tales. Our Chief Cutie Officer on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Tradition. Look at the OG vids. She was always there.